Let's take a look at the eText, and just for practice, let's start from the home page, go to the My Lab and Mastering page, click on the Open My Lab and Mastering link, and get to the home page of My Lab and Mastering. And if it will open, there's the calendar and the assignments, and we're going to look at the eText. Now you can get to the eText chapter at a time if you want to, the multimedia eText, but it contains only the eText for that chapter, and it looked to me like sometimes you can't quite get to all the homework problems in that section when you do that because it's just the text. So I prefer on the main menu just to open up the eText. So when you click on eText, it brings up another page with another link. When you click on that, then it does actually open up the eText, and it opens it up to the table of contents. Over here you can select what sections you want to work on. If we wanted to work on section 1.4, there's first of all I clicked on chapter 1, so it took me to the chapter 1 introduction, and you can and should read through that. I didn't find this particular introduction to be particularly compelling because I'm not real big fan of the Rubik's Cube kind of puzzle, but if you are, you might want to read through that. The main meat here is in the section. So section 1.1 is solving problems through induction, and just let's take a look at some of the things you can do in the eText. Now the eText is exactly the same content as a printed textbook. You can move through the pages by clicking on these gray bars. You can zoom in and zoom out. It has more functionality, such as you can you can highlight material. If you wanted to highlight the word counterexample, for instance, you could highlight that. I haven't really played around with these a whole bunch, but you can bookmark a page so you can get back to it if there are particular pages that you want to be able to get back to. You can actually write notes and pin notes in here, a note pointing to the word counterexample, and you can put the definition in there if you wanted to. You can adjust the display any number of ways. The screen real estate I've got here are just a small piece of the screen. I didn't want the videos to be that big, so you'll have more screen real estate to work with, so that you could actually probably look at 2 pages at once if you wanted to. You can zoom in and zoom out of those pages. You can highlight them, you can link to them, and you should, for each section, you should work through the textbook. And that's not just reading in a textbook, it's like working the examples, pencil and paper, trying to work through the material until you get to the exercises. And when you get to the exercises, this is really the meat of the course, and that is being able to solve problems. So if you think you know what's going on, then you should grab a bunch of the odd problems and try to work through them. And you'll discover probably that you don't, or you need practice, or you've never seen problems like this, so you need help working through these kinds of problems. And then in that case, you can go to the Student Solutions Manual that we showed you before, and for the odd problems, you'll see them work out these problems in detail, and then from that you can learn how to work these problems. After you're confident you can work these problems, you've worked through enough of these and looked at the detailed solutions, then you're ready to work on the homework problems, and we'll take a look at the homework problems next. We haven't really scratched the surface on everything you can do with this eText. There's this other kind of interesting whiteboard version of this where you can page through it and access the tools over here on drawing tools. You can put shapes around and put colors and all sorts of interesting things. So play around with the eText, and now we're going to take a look at the how the homework system works.